Very good. And I'll get to shuffling. I opened a brand new deck for you today.
That's awesome. I think we're live now. Hey guys, we're live. We're gonna get started. It's gonna be a great show. And hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic podcast. I have my good friend with me, Breakaway Ray. And man, the AI did a number on Ray's bio. I was just looking at it now, and it was totally wrong. Like, you know, like I usually trust the AI, so I just like copied everything and put it in because I was in a hurry today, and I didn't look at it. But then Ray had me look at it now, and it was saying that Ray was a SSP experiencer and my lab survivor, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, it really did a number. But anyway, Ray's with the Star Card podcast. He studied tarot under Matthew Mornian. He's been on my show many times talking about disclosure and, you know, a lot of stuff. And like lately he's been coming on to do readings, and people seem to like his readings a lot. You know, they Ray went all in on tarot, and he's doing really good. And he started a new podcast called the Star Card podcast. And I'm really happy to have him here with us on Father's Day. So Ray, thanks so much for coming on, man. And how are you? And happy Father's Day.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you, Rob, and everyone who's celebrating Father's Day out there. I'm obviously really ecstatic to be here. I'm happy to throw some tarot cards for everybody. I hope it helps. It's all for entertainment purposes only, but I'm having a lot of fun. I only started looking at tarot in March, and you know, and even since the last time I was on the show, I've obviously learned a lot more things from the tarot cards. So one of the things I'd like to experiment with tonight is something called control time travel. But let me just say, first of all, I would like to do personal readings first. You know, if people, you know, need a reading, you know, I got the tarot cards. You're here tonight. Let's see if I can help. But if, you know, if time allows and someone like has a particular date in mind in the future, and maybe it's a subject and that date, and you want to know, you know, how can we approach this subject come the year 2040 or 2070, for example, maybe cybernetics. How is society going to look at it? These are the kinds of things that I can ask the tarot deck, and we can get a progression or a timeline or a comparison of what we know now versus what we will know in the future. You know what, very quickly, just to elaborate on my point, for example, Project Oblivion. You know, where will Project Oblivion, what will it look like in the year 2030 and then again in 2070? You know, and in 2070, we're sure hoping that it's still around, right? Also, here's another idea. In the years 2035 and 2070, how commonplace will it be for humans on Earth's surface to be aware of past lives and altars? So, you know, we can ask the tarot deck to tell us a little story about that. These are just some ideas I came up with, but it's great that we're giving everyone out there in the chat a head start. You know, maybe they've got a burning question, an intellectual one, something, you know, that forecasts into the future, and they'd like to see what the tarot deck might tell me. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much, Rob. And by the way, besides Matthew Mornian, terrific teacher, I would know nothing about tarot cards if I wasn't tuning in to the Typical Skeptic podcast. This is another example of how Rob's show has changed my life. And, you know, I used to contact, for good reason, and I haven't really stopped, used to contact a lot of psychics for help and things. But now I know how to work a tarot deck. And, you know, if I've got questions on my mind, I can sit down with a tarot deck, and I'm getting some good information even for myself. So anyway, I'll pause there, and then, you know, we'll see where you want to go, Rob. And then we could either go right to the readings, or I could go ahead and start with the game, for example.
Yeah. But I mean, if anybody wants a reading, put your name in the chat, or if you want a reading, and if you donate, it's definitely helping guys. You know, it's going to help me. Thank you, Kelly, for donating. Kelly just donated. If it's going to help me try to get to the Full Disclosure Now conference, because let me tell you, I thought I had a way down there. I thought everything was set up, and I don't now, because the person I was supposed to go with, I got into an argument with, and it's a long story. But I mean, you know, so I got to refocus my energies, and I got to come up with a new plan on how to get down there. And I messaged Brian about it today, so he knows, you know, that I'm still trying to get down there. So when you guys donate, it will be going to like help me try to get to the Full Disclosure Now conference, so I can represent you guys there and then I can get you good side interviews, and I can get you, all kinds of good intel from the conference. And so Kelly donated. I don't know if we want to go with her first. Did you want to do one of the? We can get into the personal readings after. Did you want to get into the couple of questions you wanted to ask first and cover that, like the game you were saying?
Sure. So let's say, let me see if I can pick this out here. Okay. So what I'm suggesting is, like, I don't know how many people are out there in the chat, or we need any help. Rob, you're a very educated man. You know a lot of stuff. But I would say, like, choose a topic, choose a science, choose a country, or even a person in the last 300 years, and agree upon it in the chat, because I don't look at the chat when I'm on the show with you. And then don't tell me what you agree upon, and just say, hey, Ray, we're interested in the idea of aeronautics or space flight in the 1700s in France. And, only you would know what you've Googled already in the chat and discussed, and you can see what the cards have to say about that. And, and if I come close by examining something that's in the past that you guys just looked up on the internet, then we can turn it around and take a look at the future and do the same kind of thing, but put the date in the future and see what the cards tell us in that case. It's a way of time traveling into the future.
Yeah. Well, how do we do this? So we want the audience to think of a topic, but you don't want me to have them tell you, you're saying?
Yes. You might even want to pick, like, the birth date of a famous person in history, in the last 200 or 300 years, and maybe give me, like, a country or a continent, and if everyone knows, if you guys are all thinking about it, I'm pretty sure the tarot cards will not only tell me or give me the dimensions of this person, the energy of this person, but I'll probably inadvertently teach you guys something about that subject. Because as everyone knows, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching the whole time, but I'm sure I could accidentally teach you by checking out what you know. So anyway, again, pick a person in science, for example, at a certain university, but probably a name I don't know. And then I'll throw cards and see what the cards say about that person. See if I come close. It's like a parlor trick, but everyone could do this stuff. I'm gonna start shuffling. But if we put it out there, and in the meantime, I can do a reading, and until you guys come up with an idea, and we can get the game started.
Okay, do you want to do a reading first for Kelly? She donated. She says, she said in her PayPal note, she wrote, "Delicious Daddy's Day Show support."
Kelly's very nice. She's one of my subscribers over at Star Card Podcast. Thank you very much, Kelly. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
I met Kelly in person. She lives in Pittsburgh. Yeah. She's from Pittsburgh. Yeah,
that's right. I know
she's a very nice person. She's a really cool person. Like, she's like, like, I can hang out with her all the time. She's like, she's cool. But okay. So Nathan Swayster Spot says he would like an abundance reading. So Kelly, do you want a reading, or should we go to Nathan first, or like what do you guys want me to do here? And
so I'm going to switch to the tarot cam, and then I've already got 4 cards thrown for Kelly, and then we can go to the next person.
Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and read Kelly. Okay, then we'll go to you, Nathan, next, and then we'll get Anchor Haven, because Anchor Haven donated, and then
okay. So,
I love the tarot view, Ray. I know you've done that before, but I like it. Look, guys, I even put coconut oil in my hair tonight to look decent for you guys for Father's Day, even though I'm not a father. So I'm trying to make myself look presentable here.
We all dress up like that. Yeah. So here's some cards for Kelly. Here we go. Oh, how wonderful! It's the Hermit, and again, having this deck with all the words written right on it, it was a game changer. It helped me learn really quickly. I know you have the same deck, Rob. But this really accelerated my learning. Well, the Hermit indicates looking inward. Let's see how it plays out with the other 3 cards here. Oh, how wonderful! I'm so happy to see this card. It's the Fool. It represents the beginning, the most powerful card in the deck and really has no idea. And there's a couple of other details I like reading out loud. We'll get to that part in a minute. So far, I'm really enjoying the reading. We're halfway home, and this is great. Let's take a look. Oh, I love it. The Queen of Swords. I like the Queen of Swords because she always says, you were right. And I'll go back to the Queen of Swords in a minute. And then, oh, how wonderful. It's the Hanged Man. And weirdly, it's actually inverted. It's upside down. So we'll have to read the inverted meaning. So just very quickly, quite a powerful draw. It's all the power of the inner world mixed at the very, very beginning with unlimited possibilities. And we're looking at it at a totally different direction than even, most people would look at the spiritual world in a kind of a traditional way. And yet this card suggests upside down that maybe even you're looking at it in a more unusual way than normal, out of the mainstream in that sense. And then again, the Queen of Swords, that's the card that always tells me, you were right. But I'll get my magnifying glass here, and then I will read what it has to say. Yeah, sweet. All right, the Hermit. Soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, and consciousness. And I really like the inner guidance part from the Hermit. The Fool, new beginnings, possibilities, innocence, spontaneous optimism, trust in life, blind faith, adventure, opportunity, and pleasure. I mean, how wonderful. It's like the college graduate, your whole life's ahead of you. The Queen of Swords, you're always right. Unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded and perceptive. You hold no illusions. And the inverted hangman, for some reason it says here, delays and standstill and resistance, stalling, indecision, fear of sacrifice, lack of control. But that doesn't mean it's you. It could just mean that that's an energy that's present in your life. Maybe someone else is showing those kinds of behaviors. I enjoyed the reading, and it's a pleasure to have read. I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was great. I hope that resonated with you, Kelly. So what do you think it all means altogether, right? Do you see like just it's being like new beginnings for Kelly? Is that what you're feeling?
Yeah, that full card is really talking about a fresh start, a new beginning. And those were all powerful companions. When you're a hermit, it may feel like you're not so powerful, but you got the Queen of Swords and you're right. And the Queen of Swords is not just like some lady down the street. This lady is an authority. So, you've got the spiritual world on your side. Someone's backing you up.
I love that. I love that for Kelly. Okay, we'll get to the next reading. The next reading is from Nathan Wayswitch Fox, and I'll put his thing up on the screen here. He says he'd like an abundance reading, Ray, if you can do that. And Ray, yeah, we're doing that next with Sean Bond too. We're doing abundance readings, Nathan. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, yeah, wonderful. I recognize Nathan. It's nice to see you again. I think last time we did a finance reading. And so anyway, yeah, let's.
Yeah, Nathan's a real SSP experiencer. Nathan's got some real paranormal experiences and real ET type stuff going on in his life.
Wow. All right, an abundance for Nathan.
Shout out to all the dads out there tonight, and I hope all the dads are having a good Father's Day. This isn't like a very big day for me because I'm not a dad myself, and then my dad died when I was 21. So, and any kind of figure that I considered a father figure in my life has kind of passed away. So it's like for me, it's like it's just kind of like
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my friends and I, along the same lines, we're thinking, we're going to be going to more funerals, more than likely as our friends get older, our
I
age.
know it sucks. It really does, Ray. You know what I mean? It really does. It's like
a bummer. All right, but this is about an abundance reading, and God bless our dads. All right. So when I went all out here, so one of the things that I learned since last time was I can use this like an outline. Like this is my first set of speaking points. This is the second set of slides in my PowerPoint presentation. And here's my final message. So let's just see what the cards have to tell us. Yeah. So, check that out. It's the Queen of Swords. And
again,
we just saw, yeah. And again, you saw me shuffle. Again, she's saying you're right. So anyway, this tells me there's some truth going on. And with the abundance, I believe Matthew Morning is the one that told us, the Two of Pentacles says you can have it all. And that kind of sounds abundant to me. So I think we're on target so far. This is like a nice introduction. And it's like a validation that, they heard what our request was. Here I go. Oh, yay. Again, everybody saw me shuffle and draw the cards, randomly. So this is the Hermit again. And I wonder if Nathan recognizes this card from the last time I drew. This is the Eight of Cups. Yay. And then here we are. It's the Magician. And then I'm going to throw these two and see what happens. Abundance. You want an abundance, right? The King of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. All right. So regarding abundance, it's the truth. You can have it all. And sometimes it's wise to take a compromise and then watch the magic happen. Don't let a situation drain your energy. And money is a form of energy. There's always going to be a struggle, says the Five of Wands, in the world for abundance. But at the same time, I'm going to suggest that we really do have everything that we need. I mean, this King of Pentacles, you could look at it individually and say, the universe gives me what I need. But then I think at the same time, this message is, there may be a struggle, but the universe does provide for all of us. We have to remember to ask. We have to remember to say thank you for all the things that we have. And, the more gratitude we show, the universe turns it around and says, hey, this person really appreciates what we're doing for this person. That's where the magic comes in. So anyway, why don't I take a closer look at the cards, just to verify. As President Reagan used to say, trust but verify. Here I go. The Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, and perceptive. Abundance. We're doing an abundance tonight. You can have it all. Multiple priorities, time management, adaptability, balancing decisions. Feels like you could if you miss this trolley, you could take the next trolley. It's coming in a minute. I said trolley. Look, I wasn't, alive in the 1920s. I don't know why I said that. Okay, the Hermit. Yeah, the Hermit. Soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, and consciousness. And again, I think that a lot of us undersell even to ourselves inner guidance. And the inner guidance I'm getting from the tarot deck is just cascading at me every day. It's not just meditation. It's a reflection of what's going on in your mind and in your world. Anyway, so yes, abundance. It's going to involve the inner world as well. And I had this last time I was on the show, or last time I did that reading. I think I said something like pennies on the dollar, and that's not what I meant. But I said something like again, it was best the way I said it the first time. If you have to walk away from something that's draining your energy, draining your money, you're probably making the right decision. You seem to know what you're doing, and because you're making a lot of magic happen in the first place with the abundance that you have. Anyway, the Magician. This guy. Eight of Cups first. disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, leaving behind. Okay? You don't, yeah. Move on. So here's the magician: action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill, and creativity. Again, whatever that experience was, it's like getting another college degree, and now you just got a new degree, you got some new wisdom, you move on and you try something new with what you learned. King of Pentacles, wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, generosity. This sounds promising to me. The abundance sounds promising to me. At the same time, the Five of Wands says there's competition, there's rivalry, there's conflict and disagreements, and unfortunately, there might be strife and tension, and that might characterize it for most of us. I hope that was helpful, and thank you for letting.
I just wanted to give my what I picked up on Nathan. Like I just closed my eyes and I tried to read into him a little bit, and like when I tried to do that, like because I've been trying to do this more often lately, the first thing I saw was the Energizer Bunny. I don't know if this is going to relate to him at all, but I saw the Energizer Bunny for you, Nathan, and I was like, I wonder if you're running yourself ragged on a task that's not very rewarding to you. So what I would say is maybe try to think outside the box a little bit and try to give yourself some safe risk. Like don't be afraid to risk things a little bit, and you might get a reward. That's what I'm getting for you. I don't know if that relates to him at all, but that's kind of what came to my mind. I don't know. I just felt like I should tell him that. I don't know. And that kind of relates to what you were saying, Ray, so I don't know.
Yeah, that was totally helpful. Thank you very much for that. And I hope it was helping Nathan too. If you nail that on the head for him, and then he has to, well, anyone would have to, take a look at what's going on, and let's re-examine where we're sending our energies. If this is our soul's path, let's check for sure. I had some interesting experience with a possible job interview that didn't happen, but I threw some tarot cards just to tell me, what would happen if I actually got the job and what would happen if I did not. And I was like, pretty amazed at what I came up with, and it seemed really helpful. And then the job became unavailable. But I just thought I'd share that story, and how I work with the tarot deck, and I get a lot of questions answered ahead of time because I know what questions to ask.
It's like being able to have a time machine, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, having your own personal psychic, or your time machine, or Doctor Who's time TARDIS. So. Hey, is there someone else I should be tossing for?
Yeah, we got another one. We got Anchorhaven, Julia Anchorhaven. She donated. Thank you, Julia. She says she sent a PayPal, and then let me see if she sent a note in the PayPal. And
so I'm pretty sure Julia is like meticulously viewed all the times that I've been on your show, and I just want to say thank you. I appreciate a big fan like that, and I really appreciate the support. So yeah, let's see what's going on. Any special messages for Julia? Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear. Now, Julia. I really appreciate this, Rob. This is like a tarot laboratory. Especially if I get it right, then it helps me refine my skill in a hurry. It's so
if
special.
I can add anything to them, I will. But some of them I go completely blank on. Some of them I get, like Nathan, I got something for, and he did say it resonated with him, so I'm glad. But like for Julia, I'm drawing a complete blank. And I know Julia too, so you'd think I would know something about her, but I'm getting a blank on or anything futuristic for her, it's weird. Sometimes I'll get a premonition about someone. Sometimes I'll be like, dead as a doornail, I don't know. Maybe as the reading goes on, I can try. Yeah. But sorry, Ray, I didn't mean to.
No, this is good teamwork. The cards are here, and we can both read it in different ways. We're like tuning in on different boom boxes. So we can both check it out. Yeah.
I love that. That's cool.
Yeah, and let's bring it with the 8 of Wands. Something's coming in a hurry. Sweet. Or there's flight involved. So when we say flight, are you taking a trip soon, or are we talking about the secret space program? I don't know yet. We only tossed one card. Let's see. Oh yeah, sweet. The King of Cups. I'll have to read up on this guy, but all those kings are in a good position. They're sitting on the throne. Next up. All right. So I always used to get scared when I see this card, but I'm used to it now. It's the Death card, but the Death card simply means transformation. We're going to find out what these cards have to say, and then build our paragraphs around that. Next up, this is turning out to be a fun one. So you have the Seven of Swords. This guy is stealing some swords from soldiers so that they cannot fight, and he's sneaking off in the early morning light. He's got so many swords he can't even carry all of them, but at least he moved 2 of them out of those tents. So his side's going to be doing swell in the next morning. Next up, all right, the Six of Pentacles. I think that's the giving and taking card. And then finally, for the last scene, sweet. It's the Justice card. This one doesn't just like make an appearance like Stan Lee in a Marvel movie, okay? It's a big deal when the Justice card shows up.
Why is that, Ray?
Because I just want to say justice is hard to come by. So if the Justice card comes down, it's like you're talking to a real judge,
Yeah.
This is authority. Okay. And then wow. So I think I'm turning this over. And yeah, it's the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to make sure I read both parts. So I'm going to get my magnifying glass here. This looks like an exciting reading for Julia. The King of Cups suggests someone that is emotionally balanced, compassionate, diplomatic. It suggests control, balance, and a supportive leader, and tolerance, and that is to say, and tolerance, and someone who is empathic. That's someone who's like not just like a parent, but even a grandparent. I'm just a grandparent energy. I'm not suggesting that you are a grandparent. And then at the same time, there's something happening very quickly to this person who is in charge and in control. And this is just the person to be in charge and in control, because something's coming, and it's good to stay in control. That's how you're going to respond the best. Don't react, respond. Okay, so next up, the Death card indicates change. And it looks like what's changing is someone was taking away and now someone's giving. And then, if there's a change that's been brought about and the person is not taking away anymore, instead we're giving, that sounds like justice to me. And the Knight of Pentacles says that's hard work, it's productivity, routine and conservation, efficiency and responsibility. This is the soldier that I want to have, over the long term. I want him like a Tom Brady. He's going to be around for 20 years and win championships with me. Or even better yet, a Bill Russell from the Celtics, winning championship after championship. This is the guy that I want. So there's going to be justice, and it's going to be brought about by some kind of superstar power in whatever dimension this is playing out. Well, Rob, let me very quickly go through the words on the cards. I hope that does not become tedious for anyone. So 8 of Wands, speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, or air travel. I think we read the King of Cups already. Yes. The Death card, endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, end of a cycle. Yeah, the Death card, end of a cycle. 7 of Swords, betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, trickery, also suggesting things that are hidden. 6 of Pentacles, giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, and charity. Justice, fairness, truth, clarity, equality, balance, cause and effect, and law. And the King of Pentacles, it feels like I've read this one, hard work and productivity, routine, conservation, working hard over the long haul. I hope that was helpful and encouraging. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, wait, Rob, you want to take a look? What do you got on those cards? Anything?
I'm not getting anything for Julia. I feel bad. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to just say something just to, because I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But if I do, I'll, but I don't know,
Yeah. No, that's okay. If you do, I'll make sure I don't do anything to the cards until you speak. I'll check in first. All right.
Oh, and I wanted to give you while Ray's shuffling the cards before we go. I wanted you guys to check out my new sponsor, well, new affiliate is Jay Skyrunner, who's been on my show, and you guys can try his course. It's 100 Days of Qigong. Guys, Qigong is very healthy for you, and Jay really knows what he's doing. So you can sign up with the link that I put up on the screen, and you can use code TSP333 for Jay Skyrunner's Qigong course. And if you don't use the code, tell him I sent you, so I get credit for it. And yeah, it's amazing, and this is an affiliate YouTube can't take down, because they didn't like my other affiliates, so I had to put them behind my link tree. So if you guys are wondering about my other affiliates, they're behind the link tree. But try Jay's course, and yeah. So the next one, let's see who else is here. Who else wants a reading? I'm seeing. So does anybody else want? Someone said Ray has cards up his sleeve. Jay, it is Jay. Jay Skyrunner's our next reading. He says, I'll take a reading. He says, I've had native faction targeting me on money and jobs, always like that since I moved to this liberal Masonic city I live in. So hopefully we can get some people to sign up for your course, Jay. With that, I put it in the description of this video and the next video. So, yeah. But,
Hey, Jay, and sorry about the rough going. I hope these cards help out, send a supportive message. I don't know. I know I've seen Jay Skyrunner on another podcast. I know I enjoyed it.
He comes on my show. He comes on here a lot. Not a lot, but he's been on my show like 3 or 4 times. Cool. He's
all right.
He used to be okay. Yeah, it was weird because I met Jay when I was hanging around with Christy Campbell and Priscilla. Online, not in person, but we were all friends at the beginning, and now we I still talk to them. I'm still friends with them, but yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Ray. I'm apologize.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So right on, just kind of, when you mentioned the word targeting there, we start off with the 5 of Swords. So that's kind of the same kind of stuff we're talking about. Next up, we have the Emperor that suggests control. And then the 2 of Pentacles is back, saying that it's possible to have it all, or that maybe there's some kind of redundant power. You're already powerful enough, and you can have it all. You can have your cake and eat it too, despite the 5 of Swords. Well, that's a nice spin on the first set of cards. Let's see how the whole story plays out here. I'm sure that there's a helpful message in here somewhere. I like it. We got the King of Wands here, which suggests the big picture. And then, oh, sweet. I'm having a good time now. And here is the 10 of Cups, which suggests, dreams come true. And it's hard to keep up a positive energy like that. They got to keep it going. All right, well, you got the 3 of Pentacles, and that suggests teamwork. Great. And then the final set of cards. I love it. These are all pretty positive. This guy, he might have struck out, but all these guys got on base somehow so far. And then next up, you got the Ace of Cups. Okay, that's pretty sweet. We'll take a look at that. And the Moon. And, well, this is a channel to talk about the Secret Space program. So the Moon has a special connotation for all of us. And then finally, this looks really good to me. The King of Pentacles. All of these, by the way, can I say Happy Father's Day? Because you got the Emperor, you got the King of Wands, you've got the 10 of Cups. Really, that's a paternal energy. And then you finish with the King of Pentacles. Happy Father's Day. So I think, we the first thing we focus on, at first blush is there's conflict and it's not fun and it's a bummer. But I think, knowing what we know, a lot of people don't even know about the spiritual world and how to make intentions and, all the magic, that people have told us to poo-poo all of our lives. Speaking from my own personal point of view, right? I didn't come into this until way after I was 50 years old. But if you know how to navigate both planes, and that involves living a life that is karmic in a every day, you're gonna have spirit on your side. Anyway, let's see what other energies you have on your side. The Two of Pentacles. When you have two, it's suggested there's teamwork. You can have it all. Next time you take a look at the cards in the middle here, the big picture is your dream is going to come true, and it's going to be in collaboration with other people. I'm guessing like family, because they look like they're in a holy place. It almost looks like a church, but I like to say the home is like a sacred place also. So I'm hoping that you have people like family on Father's Day, in your future, if not right now. The Ace of Cups is a beginning. Here's the spooky moon card. I'll let you think about the moon card. And the King of Pentacles says ka-ching. So I'll very quickly read the definitions at the bottom, just so that you know I'm not making it up. Five of Swords, conflict, disagreement, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationships. And it could also just be a dude who has to win at the local pickup basketball game. The Emperor, respect, leadership, stability, structure, rules and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, and practicality. The Two of Pentacles, multiple priorities, time management, adaptability, balancing decisions. The King of Wands, natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur. There you go, entrepreneur. Good luck with that business. Yes. The big picture, overcoming challenges, mature, career focused. And you follow that up with the Ten of Cups. Your business looks like it could be off to an auspicious start. That's really rad. It looks like, yeah. Anyway, the Ten of Cups says divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family, contentment, total love and support. Whoops. The Three of Pentacles, teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation. Again, you're implementing your business and you're building something. The Ace of Cups, love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, a new baby, proposal, or marriage. Those could just be figurative. The Moon, illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious, and premonitions. That's kind of a good card. Someone in your position would have, intuition beyond the normal Joe walking down the street. And the King of Pentacles, wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, and generosity. I'm just going to say the dogs and the moon card are the guys watching your property from these Five of Swords dudes. And all these other cards tell me a promising story. I want to say good luck, Jay, and thank you very much for letting me read. Rob, you got anything?
Yeah, I do. I was weird. Like I was like, actually, I started almost. You guys are gonna find this. I almost started dozing off. Like I was like, I don't know what happened, but like when I was closing my eyes, like I started seeing Jay, and I started seeing all these ghosts around Jay, and I saw them dying. So what that signified to me is like I know Jay's like a really highly spiritually advanced person. I think he's shedding his former selves, and these ghosts that I saw dying around him are like his former selves. And I feel like as long as he stays on his path, they're making it hard for all of us right now. But I think if he stays on his path, he's going to do really well. And I think he's transcending to a new level of spirituality. I think he's because he's like the type of person that's always learning. So that's what I see for him. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I hope so. I don't know.
I wouldn't know, but I like what you had to say. Yeah, and I was thinking as you were saying that when you're in that mode of spiritual learning, you never plateau, you never stop. There's people that are decades older than us. They're probably tuning in the show saying, "Yeah, wait till you're in your 80s. You're not done learning." All right, that was fun, dude.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great reading, Ray. That was really good.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. I think Puck Elf wanted a reading, but I'm looking for his message where he said he wanted a reading. Let's see here. Wait, let me see. Did I miss anybody? And yeah, someone says that in the comments like Mother's Day is right up. They should have Father's Day and Mother's Day on the same day or on similar days.
I'm pretty old, and I don't remember that.
No, they say they should have that. They should be like closer together.
Oh.
They're like not, they're like farther apart. I'm looking for. Oh man. I'm just gonna put Puck Elf's thing up here. He was talking to someone in the chat about this, but I know he wanted a reading. I saw that, and then
Okay.
Spider Bite wants a reading, so we'll get to her after.
All right. So this is for Puck Elf. Cool. I remember both of those names. All right. This is for Puck Elf. Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear to help Puck Elf. Thank you. You've had some great guests on your show in the last couple of weeks there, Rob. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, did you see the Carrie Cassidy show?
Yeah, that was so awesome. Wow, I really like that.
That was a big deal for me. That was like that was a real big deal.
Was that the first time she's been on your show?
Yeah, it was the first time.
Oh, that is so cool, dude. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is for Puck Elf, but dude, that was so cool. And don't forget, you had Penny Bradley on too.
Yeah. Penny was on. Yeah.
Yeah, rock on. All right.
I think I have some more big guests coming up this month. It's going to be a big month. It's going to be a really, I have a lot of, it's going to be a really interesting month. I don't like to say the guests beforehand because then they always fall through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like it to be a surprise,
Yeah, but no, we could take your word for it. You've already put your money where your mouth is. By the way, when are you going on the trip down to Florida? It's in Florida, right?
It's July 15th through the 18th. So I got to book my ticket and stuff soon. But I was supposed to go with someone, but like it kind of fell through. And I don't even want to say why because I still like the person. I think they're a good person. It just didn't work out. Like, we don't get along for whatever reason. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm sure that I'm sure it's going to happen. We could throw cards on that later if no one, if we're slow on readings. So let's throw some cards here. I think these guys are waiting to help Puck Elf in the first row. That's kind of crazy. That card looks like it's showing up inverted. This is the Fool. Great. Fool's awesome. The King of Pentacles is back. Come on, everybody. You saw me shuffle the cards. It's the kind of thing that happens to me all the time. And then, here's a first-time appearance tonight, Two of Swords. Wow. Two of Swords is a crossroads card. Yay, look who's back. We're all having a good time tonight on Father's Day. It's the Ten of Cups. Your dreams come true. This is, your dreams come true. They're all celebrating. This is verification, validation. Get ready to throw a party. Wow. Oh, phew. Ace of Wands. There's magic in the air. All right. And then this must be after the party. Who takes out the trash? I used that joke before. Okay, this is the Page of Wands. Great. Oh, wow, there's a lot of completion here. This is the 10 of Pentacles. You have the King of Pentacles, wealth, abundance. The 10 of Pentacles, a complete cycle. Pentacles are the currency of our desire. It signifies abundance also. And then you have the 10 of Cups, where, all your cups are filled, abundance. You got some extra, you get to celebrate, take a vacation. And then finally, I was talking big, and I'm glad we closed on a nice card, because the big picture is it's the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is saying, take a look at that big picture. It's really hard to find an obstacle or a challenge at this time with this particular reading, and that just makes me feel relieved. You have someone at the very beginning, filled with opportunity. You just graduated from college. You're hitting the job market. Things look promising. And then it's already the King of Pentacles. You're off to a good start already. But you do come to a crossroads. You had to make a decision. You didn't have all the information. But either something did or will or has already taken place. You made a good decision because now you're celebrating. All your cups are filled. These people's cups are filled. They're having a good time. Like I said, there's magic in the air. We'll look at the cards more carefully in a minute. The Page of Wands, we'll have to look at him, and we'll get to reading these cards. But again, the King of Wands is saying, look at that big picture. Party on. Congratulations. It's like you're celebrating an anniversary, and you're on a cruise. I'm really getting carried away. Let's see what the card says. New beginning, possibilities, innocence, spontaneous optimism, trust in life, blind faith, adventure, opportunity, pleasure. It's a yes card. And you started off with the yes card. You started off at the beginning of the deck. King of Pentacles, wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance. That's a theme tonight. Prosperity and generosity. The Two of Swords, difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, deadlock, which I surmise we overcame, because all the rest of these talk about a great fun time, a fun path to follow. 10 of Pentacles, divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family contentment, total love and support. The Three of Cups, celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, community, and happiness. The Ace of Wands, new project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. All together with that. It's like you went to a party and you made a business connection, and then all that business connection did was lead to this excellent situation with the Page of Wands, inspiration, ideas, discovery, limitless potential, free spirit, exploration, excitement, and freedom. The Page of Wands looks like a young fellow, but this seems to me like a person who just retired and has the whole world ahead of him or ahead of her. Sweet. And then to boot, the 10 of Pentacles says wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. And again, the King of Wands, the big picture, there's a natural leader involved, a visionary, an entrepreneur, a big picture, overcoming challenges, mature, and career focused. And I would like to wish these cards on everybody tuning in tonight. And look at all those wonderful, happy cards. Rob, would you like to cast any words upon the cards?
I don't have anything on for that. That was a great reading though. That was a mega reading. That was huge. I mean, that was great, Ray. Like, I think you nailed it. I really do.
Well,
and while Ray's shuffling the deck, guys, let me tell you, you guys can pick up a copy of Ray's book. It's called The Convoluted Autobiography, and it's amazing. I have my copy here. It features Sean Bond, the Psychic Duck, Liz Cross, and it's amazing. Ray, while you're shuffling, do you want to tell them about your book before we get to the next person?
So, you have Sean Bond coming on right after me. I just want to say, what an honor, to be on, to be his opening act, and even to be again on your show. You're so kind to me. I appreciate it very much. So I'll just say, in the book, one of the chapters towards the back of the book is my interview with Sean Bond, who taught me a lot about, not just how energy works, but, how like Lieutenant Randy Kramer once said to you, or Colonel Randy Kramer said, if you're dealing with magic and energy and you're not thinking of self-defense, then you're totally missing the point. You have to think of self-defense first. And one of the things that Sean Bond mentioned, which I was just thinking about today, and I actually think about quite often, is that, people threw swords at me, for example. We're just making up a story here. People threw swords at me. And then Sean Bond says, well, now look, now you have all these swords. Now you have all the weapons. It's kind of like, I know you're a martial artist also, and I forget which martial art it is, but it's in one of the moves, you let your opponent defeat themselves with their own energy. If they come at you, you step aside and let their own energy carry them off, and then they can face you, and you've dodged everything. So that's kind of what Sean Bond was teaching me, but in the spiritual world. And I really needed to step it up when it came to setting intentions. And I saw some kind of video screen by on my phone today, and some dude was saying, basically you want to reprogram your mind, it's through repetitive action. So, when I came on your show the first time last July 4th, I talked about affirmations and just repeating over and over. And it does make a difference eventually, for whatever you can use it for. If there's other stuff that's lingering, you can then now analyze it. But in the meantime, affirmations can help clear a lot of stuff out of the way. All right. Oh, Puck Elf said, Rob, Nathan.
That was him. We just did Puck Elf. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do Spider Bite next. How's that sound?
Oh, yeah, Spider Bite. Yeah.
Spider Bite's all the way in Australia. I still haven't met her, but I'd like to meet her someday. She's I know she's down. She's from down under.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Spider Bite again. I think she's been out a couple of times when I've been on your show. Hi, Spider Bite. Good to see you again. We're going to throw a couple of cards. I hope it's helpful or at least entertaining. Hey, I don't know what the weather's like down in Australia, but I did get to go swim in my pool today out here in California. But we're coming up on summer. You guys are heading into winter, huh?
Well, I mean, here in Pittsburgh, it's been crazy. It's been raining I got caught in the rain again. I went for a 5-mile walk today, and I got caught in the rain again. It seems like every time I go out, the weather, it rains here every single day. I swear it's like some dark witch put a bad weather spell on my town or something. Like I swear, Ray, that's what it seems like. It seems like someone cast bad weather, juju weather on me, because like every time I go out to work to exercise, it rains every single time. It's like, I don't understand what's going on here. Somehow I say this all the time. Pittsburgh turned into Seattle, because they talk about Seattle having rain all the time. That's the way it is here. It rains it's still raining right outside now. It's been raining for like 3 hours.
Wow.
My basement's getting flooded and shit. Like, like I had to like clean up the basement. It was a nightmare, man. Like it's been like, it's crazy,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what's kind of spooky to me is like Pittsburgh's like a city with all those old world buildings, and those buildings are right on like energy lines that have been hijacked for negative ends, and so it's kind of like it's kind of like having a house that's near Gettysburg, but the Gettysburg from the Civil War, when there's a battle going on. You're in the war zone kind of when you're near those big buildings that have been co-opted for some negative reasons. But no one knows better than you, Rob. You have guests coming on your show all the time saying, that things are changing exopolitically. And that's why I enjoy coming on your show, telling people what I think is going on out there and giving the whole content another voice. Shall we throw here for Spider Bite? Here we go.
Yeah, I just want to say before you do that, or while you're doing that, I just want to say I loved your interview with Liz Cross. That was great. That you put on your channel. That was really good, Ray.
So hey, thank you very much, Rob. I was waiting to see if you were going to mention that. So yeah, I spoke to Liz Cross on the subject of karma. It was actually a 2-hour interview, but an hour of it was, what's going on with my own personal karma. And one of the things that we discovered is that you can use the tarot cards to explore your karmic situation. Like, if you're like, there's something strange going on in my life, this pattern keeps on repeating, and then you invite the tarot deck to tell you a story about what's going on. Eventually you can put your finger on it and figure out what's going on. But of course, when you have Psychic Cross there, you could just ask her what's going on, and she actually crawls into the people's minds and tells you what's up.
Yeah.
She's so awesome, dude. That's so much
Just
fun.
because of that interview, it made me invite her back on, and she's coming on, I think, next week, so like, because it made me think of all the shows we did together, and I'm like, man, I should have Liz back on, she draws a big crowd too, so I'm thinking it'll be a good show.
So, and I remember you reposted the very first time she was on your show, and it was like King Kong and Godzilla, becoming friends for the first time. They're like, hey, I'm King Kong. But you guys are titans in this paranormal field. So, that was a really great, another landmark video that, the one you did with Raynetta was one. It's like you throw down a legendary video every month. I can't keep up. Anyway, Spider-Bite, let's get you a story here. All right, the Four of Cups. Followed by the Five of Swords. Next up, the Seven of Swords. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Second row. Yay, the Ten of Pentacles. That's like getting an ace when you're playing poker. Sweet. Oh, the Queen of Swords. Let's see if I got that right. Oh, yeah. The Queen of Swords. She's the one that says, yeah, you were right. Someone's saying that. Yay. Not only that, it's a big deal because you were right about something really important. That's the world right there. Wow. The story's starting to shape up here. Let's take a look at how it ends. How delightful. It's the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is back. And, well, the Eight of Cups is back. But I want to say the Eight of Cups, there's a little bit of wisdom involved with the Eight of Cups. And then the Five of Cups. That's a tough one to finish with. So I will very quickly share what I think, each set of cards is trying to say. There's perhaps someone who's not recognizing all that value that they have right in front of them. And there's some kind of subterfuge going on. And there's something hidden about it. It makes me want to say, check your bank statement. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I know Spider-Bite is a friendly person. I'm just making a suggestion based on these, pretty tough cards. It sounds like someone who doesn't see that they have it all or they have a way, instead is, opting to do something that's maybe not, in full visibility of everybody. Meanwhile, there's a great value someplace, the Ten of Pentacles, and there's the Queen of Swords who says, that you were right about the whole thing. Oh, maybe there's a lot at stake, and someone saying that you were right about the whole thing in the first place. Maybe you saw this whole first row coming. Meanwhile, the end of the story is there's going to be some magic. There's going to be some compromise as you walk away, and someone's going to be hurt. And it's the Pentacles. It's the currency of our desire. So it may not necessarily be like a physical injury, but it could mean like, oh, you have to pay a fine. Maybe there was a parking ticket that you let go a little bit. They're going to pay a little interest on that. So that's my, in general, look at the cards. But let's take a look at what the details say. Because I'm no expert. I've only been at this 2 months. All right. Four of Cups. Meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected. Someone who's disconnected. Five of Swords, conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationships. Seven of Swords, betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, and trickery. In the second part of the story, the Ten of Pentacles has wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, and contribution involved. The Queen of Swords has unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, and perceptive. The World says completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and arriving. The Ace of Wands says new project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. There's going to be new opportunities and growth, even though the Eight of Cups says you probably need to walk away from something. Eight of Cups, disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away and leaving behind. And, anyway, and the last card says there's going to be financial loss. This Five of Pentacles, financial loss. There's a lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, and insecurity. That's a rough end of that story there. But I hope if my story wasn't helpful, it was at least entertaining. Thank you, Spider Bite. Nice to see you again. Rob.
That was a great reading, Ray. That was amazing.
Did you want to say
great. No, I'm good. I don't have anything for Spider Bite. Nothing came to me, but I mean,
okay.
I think you nailed it right on the head. I think you did really amazing. And we got two more. We got the Andromedan, and then we got Spiritual Ascension. So here's the Andromedan. And Andromedan, do you have a specific question? And again, guys, remember you can donate to the cause. We only had 2 donations tonight, and maybe you guys are waiting to donate to the next show for Sean Bond or whatever. But I mean, it goes to a good cause, so, yeah, but, I'll put the link in the description if you want to donate, and you don't have to, you're not obligated to,
Right.
But it is nice. It does help out a lot. Because I'm trying to get to this Full Disclosure Now conference and get your tickets at fulldisclosuremovement.org. And I'm sure Brian would be happy to see if you guys purchase the live stream as well, but yeah, sorry, Ray, go ahead. I didn't mean to,
No, you gotta keep promoting that. We're going to get you there. It's going to happen. And hi, Andromeda. It's good to see you again. Happy to do a reading for you. All right. How about some helpful messages for the Andromedan? Oh, yeah, I was watching your show with Audrey also. I didn't get all the way through it, but that lady has some great content to share, and I subscribe to her channel.
Yeah, she's like a galactic dictionary, you know what I mean? Or a galactic, like the thesaurus or encyclopedia, she really knows what's going on in the galactic realms, She's
I love that. I think that's so cool. I mean, that's about all I can say about it right now. I do get the idea that change is on the horizon. So, yeah, let's turn some cards here for the Andromedan. How about some helpful messages for the Andromedan? All right, coming up first, yeah, the Page of Wands. I think you guys saw me shuffle. Anyway, I think this guy's back. Page of Wands. Here is the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. Oh, really? And the Three of Swords, representing pain and heartache, perhaps. All right, the second paragraph. All right, phew. Here's the 3 ladies dancing. It's the 3 of Cups. And then here's the one lady who's blindfolded, the 2 of Swords, and she's blindfolded. You got to be careful with those things. And then look what you're doing. Who's putting swords in this lady's hand? She's blindfolded. All right. Next up, it's the 8 of Cups. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we all got to walk away from. Everyone keeps getting this card. It's probably a good message. We got to let go of what doesn't serve us anymore. That's the Buddhist maxim. Next up, this guy's back, the 5 of Pentacles. All right, the 8 of Wands suggests that there's some action happening. And then, all right, and here's the very promising 6 of Swords. It's promising, and I say romantic in the romantic movie sense. If you look at it's mysterious. There's water. It's quiet. There's nobody else out there. It's like in the middle of the night. And I don't know if you can see it in this card, but there's a ghost in the boat. Anyway, this card suggests that, there's the spiritual hand is guiding you, at the very end of it all, the spiritual world is still trying to point you in the right direction and offering you help. But let's see what all these cards say very quickly together. The Page of Wands, let me get a good look at that guy again. Yeah, this is the college graduate dude. Limitless potential, free spirit, exploration, inspiration, ideas, and discovery. And then the Six of Pentacles with giving and receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, and charity. Giving and receiving, that's cooperation. And then the Three of Swords, heartbreak, suffering, grief, emotional pain, sorrow, hurt, divorce, loss, or depression. That's such a heavy card, you know. But anyway, a lot of these other cards suggest, especially this one, you know, that there's promise ahead. So yeah, you can start right now with, you know, this painful episode. Maybe it's over because now you get to party with the three ladies and whatever you got in that cup. Three of Cups, celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, community, happiness. You know, maybe this relationship didn't work out. You moved on to a new one. You know, instead of just one, you have many now. The Two of Swords, crossroads, difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, deadlock. Yeah, you're gonna have to make a tough decision, and maybe it's gonna be something where we walk away from it. Maybe that's the easiest way to go. The most alignment involved. Disappointment, Eight of Cups. Disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, and leaving behind. And then finally, you know, your life's going to change if you walk away from whatever that was. You know, you probably made a good decision getting away from whatever it was, because you got spiritual support on your path right away, whenever you ask for it. The Five of Pentacles, financial loss, a lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, and insecurity. You know, but that's just the 3D world. You know, if you say the word, you know, you're going to get the guidance that you ask for. The Eight of Wands, speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, and air travel. I would say that the Andromedan probably has a pretty good hold on how to do manifesting. He doesn't hear about it from me. I should probably ask him some questions about it. And finally, the Six of Swords, transition, change, leaving behind, releasing baggage, and moving on. Yeah, he says, walk away from it. He says, get in the boat and sail away from it. Move on. I hope that was helpful, Rob. Any helpful messages for our friend, the Andromedan?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I think we'll do the last one. We'll do one more, and then I'll take a break between you and Sean. And we have spiritual ascension. I'm looking for I think it's a her. Yeah, she's right here, and
right.
she says she'll take a reading, please. And yeah, thanks, spiritual ascension. And,
all right. Hello, spiritual ascension. This was a lot of fun, Rob. I really appreciate the practice and the promotion for Star Card Podcast and the book, The Convoluted Autobiography. And I'm looking forward. I'm going to be on your program again. Looks like on June 20th, if all goes well, you know.
Yeah, we'll do it for sure. Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, we'll do some more of this. All right. Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear. Help spiritual ascension. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Hey, did you guys get who's that new quarterback the old guy from
we got Bay? Pittsburgh got Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's like 40 years old. So he's like 5 years younger than me, but he's still old for NFL. You know, there's two sports that you have to really be really young. Well, I think all sports you do, but I mean, especially for like UFC fighting and football, you know, 35 you start to be old for that. You know what I mean? Like in 40, you're definitely like, you know, there's hardly any fighters that are 40 years old. There's hardly any football players that are 40 years old. It's just not a, you know, but like what's weird, Ray, is like, you know, like I know, like I don't look my age, you don't look your age. So I feel like it's like times are changing. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe Aaron Rodgers will do good when he's on the Steelers this year. I think that regardless, I think he's going to make the season interesting for sure. You know what I mean? Like I mean, because he brings a lot of controversy, and he probably still can throw the ball pretty good. And I mean, I think we need to get some receivers. I think we got rid of George Pickens, but I think they'll pick up. The Steelers always pick up. They'll pick up someone good. But I mean, yeah, we definitely signed Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal.
Yeah. So I got to tell you, I love following the Steelers, even though I'm way out here in LA, because you guys have a great coach. That guy is so awesome. And you guys always bring it. You're always like 10-win seasons. You're making trouble in the playoffs. It was never an easy ride. You had to go through Pittsburgh, no matter what decade you were in. So right on, Steelers.
Yeah, we had a good run back when I was in my 20s. In 2005 or 2006, we won the Super Bowl with Jerome Bettis, and then in 2010, Antonio Holmes caught catch in the end zone when we played against the Arizona Cardinals. We won that year too. I remember that. Like those were fun times. It was
I'm so old that I was actually watching when Lynn Swann and John Stallworth were making those catches.
Are you serious? You saw them? Yeah. You saw that? Wow! You got to be a little kid then, right?
I was like 7, 8 years old. My dad was watching the football game, and we're in New York. We're just watching on TV. But yeah, and then they'd play the replay. But you had to like be lucky when you're watching TV back then. It was television by appointment. You didn't get up and you said, I can't do nothing. There was no videotape back then. Anyway.
I know, right? I know. Yeah. It was crazy. That's what I tell people about when I used to listen to Art Bell, That's how long I've been into UFOs, because I was listening to Art Bell in like 1999, and like you had to turn the radio to the exact dial. You couldn't it wasn't like you can go on the internet now and you can pick anything you want to listen to, it's like that was it. The only choice then was Art Bell. There was there was other people doing it. Like I think Miles Johnson was doing like pirate radio over in the UK, and Kerry Cassidy started in 2005. But I mean, basically when Art Bell was doing it, he was one of the only people at the time to be doing it, like there wasn't many people, it was pretty rare, it was
that was a long time ago, and like totally different technology, a totally different world now.
I know. If somebody would have told me that we'd be talking to like AI and stuff, I would have never believed it. Like if somebody would have told me back then, like if someone would have came from the future and they said, in 20 years from now, you're going to be talking to a computer system that's like, semi-intelligent, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way. But here we are,
I know. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty trippy. Well, and this is like the big fireworks show that, they say all of us made a decision to come and see, this is our July 4th, this lifetime. We get to watch all the fireworks go off when we have disclosure. And that's what I cover at the Star Card podcast. I'm doing time travel events. We're looking at, what instruction about the solar system looks like in the future, what the secret space programs look like, how integrated they are into our society in the future. But, yeah, and we all start off. I wanted to say about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I heard that Terry Bradshaw was talking some trash about Aaron Rodgers, and it turned into like a big comedy. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I didn't hear about it. I got to check that out.
Yeah, you can do that during your coffee break. So it was pretty funny. I heard about it on Pardon the Interruption with Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon. Anyway, first up, hey, I'm happy for Spiritual Ascension. We got the Four of Wands showing up. There's a homecoming involved. No, okay. Then it's the Five of Swords. I'm in a good mood, but I'm not trying to make light of it. But it make it sound like, my kid's coming home from college. I love my kid, but he's bringing his special personality back with him. Make sure he cleans up his laundry and picks it up off the floor. Meanwhile, the Four of Cups finishes that row. Next up, hey, everybody, you guys all saw me. I was shuffling the cards. Here's the Eight of Cups again.
Wow.
Walk away. Choose your battles. Oh, look who else shows up. The Eight of Wands. How about that? And then the Ten of Pentacles is back. Hey, everybody, you watched. All right. So, if we walk away from something, then really fast, you're going to see that everything's finished and complete and we can all be happy. Let's go to the end part of the story. Well, I thought we were all going to be happy, but then the Five of Wands guy shows up. I spoke too soon. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, but there is the Ace of Swords. This indicates precision. This could be, a necessary task that you have to, deal with. for example, to just make it like sound superficial, if you were thinking about replacing an appliance, it's a real conflict that you do have to deal with. And this one says, it's a good time to do that. But you can take that kind of idea and apply it to whatever situation might be going on in your lives. Anyone who's listening. All right, and our last card, it's the Eight of Pentacles, suggesting that you work really hard. It's going to take a long time. So let's go through and take a look at the cards together. Look at the details. The Four of Wands, celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, and homecoming. The Five of Swords, conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationships. The kid comes home from college and he's trying to hide the joint in his sock drawer, and he doesn't feel well.
That's hilarious.
Okay, and then the Four of Cups. Well, maybe mom is thinking, my baby's all grown up now. It's not the same anymore, but you do have a wonderful child. Everything's there, but it's not your baby anymore. Four of Cups, meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation. That's the word I was looking for. And disconnected. Don't forget to don't take anything for granted. Everybody, be grateful every day for everything. You never know when your number is going to get called. Eight of Cups, walk away from something that doesn't serve you anymore. Eight of Cups, disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, leaving behind. Eight of Wands, speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, air travel. And the Ten of Pentacles, wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. Just off the top of my head, this guy is saying, sell the car. You don't need the other car anymore. And then as soon as you sell the car, everything's going to be, financially stable as far as your checkbook goes, your checking account, I should say. Okay, and then to finish the story, Five of Wands, competition, rivalry, disagreements, strife, and tension. And then the Ace of Swords, mental clarity, breakthroughs, new ideas, success, sharp mind, new conflict, and surgery. So I would say, it's not saying anything about emotions here with the Ace of Swords. It's saying, precision, and you have the tool of a sword to point right at the problem. And if you're still in conflict with someone, it means that you might be working together to find something as you still use discernment and you proceed through whatever the problem is that you're addressing. And when you do that, it's going to take some time. You're going to have to be at it for a while. The Eight of Pentacles, diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. So there may even be some education involved to get you going in the next part of your story. Rob, would you care to comment on the cards at all?
No, I'm good. I think we're good. I guess we'll finish up there, Ray. This was amazing. I honestly I really enjoyed this. Thank you, man. This was awesome. And Ray's going to be back, guys, on June 20th, Ray? I think, yeah.
That's right. June 20th.
So in 5 days. So in 5 days, Ray will be back, and that'll be a fun show. And do you want to promote anything, Ray? And thanks. This was awesome.
Oh, thank you. It was awesome. It was so great. This was a great Father's Day. And you're only halfway done. You got Sean Bond coming up. So I just want to say, thank you so much for having me on. I really enjoy spending the holidays with you and your cast of people out there in the chat. They're all so kind and respectful, and I appreciate everyone's support. I hope I'm doing a good job, and at the very least, I hope someone laughed tonight while I was on the show. I will invite everyone to join and subscribe over at the Star Card Podcast. I put the link in. I think Rob's got the link in the description. I think Jason's already done that. Jason, you're a cool dude. Thank you very much. And I haven't got anything else to say. I can't wait to see you again on June 20th. I only work on holidays. June 20th is the summer solstice. So thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate coming to work on the holiday. I'm not going to ask for a raise.
And wait, this is the most important part. How can people book a reading with you?
So you could go to Star Card Podcast, and then you'll see a link to the other companion channel, the backup channel, Tarot with Breakaway Ray. And if you click over there, you'll get my email address, and then you'll see, I'm glad you asked this, then you'll see how you can contact me and what I might suggest, if you want to compensate me. But there's actually a couple of free readings still left. Like when you start this kind of thing, you're supposed to do, a handful or a certain amount for free. So if anyone's interested and you haven't had one from me yet, it would be so wonderful to record one for you. So you can contact me via Star Card Podcast over at Tarot with Breakaway Ray. And next time I'll remember to put both YouTube channel links in the podcast description. You know what else? It's also going to be on Rumble. I haven't got all the videos over there on Rumble because I'm still like recording and editing and things like that. As Rob mentioned, I got a fun one with Psychic Liz Cross called Target Karma. Anyway, check it out.
Just because I probably won't talk to you. If you want to put this on your channel, feel free. You can rip it or whatever you want to do. If you want me to send you the file, I'll send you the file, and you can put this on there if you want.
Well, yeah, that is awesome, Rob. I appreciate that. I was actually going to ask you because when I came out and I did that one called "Honey, I Found My Altars," that was kind of a good performance. I'm new to this thing. Is there a way that you could just like cut that particular part out and post it by itself? That's something you can do, isn't it?
Yeah, you can clip it. I think I can send you the file. Like I'll try to look for you want that one, not this one. You want the one because I can try to find that one. I gotta try to. Hopefully, I still have the file.
Yeah, I don't think that you have to actually send it to me because if I found it, I've already got the link. I've already got the link posted. I just want to also like have just the certain stories, as by themselves, so that people don't have to scroll through to find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll try to get a hold of it and then I'll send it to you. And that sounds good.
I'll email you. I think anyway, I'll talk to you later. You don't have to like do it in any kind of hurry, Rob. You got a lot of stuff going on. But again, thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate it. Have a good time with Sean Bond tonight. That is awesome. That's great.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes, and Sean Bond will be on, and we're going to see some ET artifacts in Mexico, and he's going to be doing some abundance readings too. So yeah, we'll see you guys soon, and I'll see you here shortly. All right. Thanks.